Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend, continuing Harumi's route today. Yep, we can jump right into skipping where we left off because we are still in the common route. But we've had some time to chat with Makino, and now we're kind of. Oh wait. Oh, okay. So we're at a slightly new scene. We were preparing to do our, student film, I guess, our mini film to test our mettle and the talents of the actors. So I saw the crew cleaning up and preparing for tomorrow, so I assumed today's filming must have ended. Miss Ueda. No? What do you mean, no? Makino appeared in the kitchen, so I rejected him before he could ask. Both supposed to be on dinner duty today. At least let me help. No means no. You haven't rested at all these past few days, have you? So I think this might be in the place of where I'm gonna go cook, and then Kazuma just kind of fucking slides the fucking. That is still one of the funniest things ever. Like, props for that, because he just just freaking Sprite just slides the fucking. I would assume this is that scene, but instead of Kazuma sneaking in, now, Makino's like, oh, I was supposed to help with dinner type of a thing. Anyway. Well, sure, but isn't that true for you, too? I already got over that mountain when I finished writing the script. Besides, most of the cooking's already done. You're the director, so you still have a ton of work ahead of you. For now, just sit down and relax. Yes, ma'am. Ha! I won! He was probably tired. As I watched him plop himself down on a table, I suppressed a victorious fist pump. Actually, Makino's been working himself ragged. Since he was assigned to be the director, he's been coming up with schedules and consulting with me about the script. I doubt he's slept much since the filming began. And he's working hard, but maybe too hard. So how can you not be afraid in this situation? Oh, look at him like asleep. Oh, cute. It's a CG in case you weren't paying attention. I'd like to warn you. But he's just passed out. It's literally just his head, but it's still kind of adorable. What is it? Oh, I was just thinking about how hard you've been working. Yes, but everyone else has been working even harder. I'm sure it's tough working under a total novice director like me. And despite that, the whole crew's even doing their best to make it work. Right. I mean, maybe they are. I was talking about you, though. Remember when we talked about your attitude toward the industry? Yes, I recall. I've been worried about you. Wondering if you hate the idea of doing this short film. Oh, I see. You're wondering if I'm really going all in on this project. I never said that. Aww. When they have him look up at you, look at his goddamn beautiful eyes, purple and green. Stop it. Makino looked up from his feet. If he smiled faintly and held my gaze. And then the starts. Piano music. Jesus. He looks beautiful in this. It's a good CG. I like it. If it seems like I've been wearing myself down, it's because someone made a big impact on me. Who's that? Someone I've gotten to know recently. He's talking about us, you idiot. I love the fact that we're clueless. I would be too. I would want to, you know what I mean? Okay, they're just friends right now, but let's just say you had a crush on someone, you're like, I'm kind of into them. And then they're like, I've met someone who made a big impact. And you'd be like, oh, who's that? Oh, I wish it were me. And not realizing it is you because you're dumb. Totally me, 100%. She's cheerful, sometimes gloomy. Just when I think she's going to hit you with some tough love, she's incredibly kind instead. When I'm not super talkative, she tries to humor me by carrying the conversation, but she tends to screw it up. Honestly, college girls are the hardest for me to deal with. She's stubbornly positive and sometimes says really clueless things. Just by watching her, I feel like I'm becoming a dummy myself. She told me to just get to work if I have time to stew about it. That maybe I'd learn something. Hold on a sec. This person... She sounds incredible. I really wish that was the right answer, but it's, wait, do you mean, she sounds incredible? Because I feel like obviously we're clued into he's talking about us, so that'd be the funniest fucking answer. Wait, do you mean... Me? Oh, love points. So you did realize. I wouldn't know what to do with you if you didn't get it after all that. He said a bunch of mean things, though. Like that I'm clueless and hard to handle. But you know what's so funny? He said it with this, like, charming smile on his face. Like, you're clueless and you're hard to handle. And it's kind of like the lovely thing where it's like, yeah, they might be saying things that are true about you that might seem like they're negative, but they're things that this person finds charming and endearing. And that's like all you can hope for, like, because everybody's got positive things about them and everybody's got negative things about them. And you kind of want things that might seem negative to other people. Oh my God. She's kind of like hard-headed and she's like, God, she doesn't get things. She's a bit of a dummy. And this person's like, yeah, she's a little hard-headed and a bit of a dummy, but like, man, I'm so charmed by it. You know? You want someone who finds like those things that should be negative as like positives. Just like these precious flaws. Lovely, I love it. I'm here for it. Makino looked away and spoke, softer this time. Oh, look at him looking embarrassingly. Look, he's blushing. It's so adorable. Stop. Such a cute CG. Again, this is all you're doing. Went around to all the cast members, gathered a bunch of info to write that script, gave me a push. I have to work this hard because of you. Good grief, you're such a nuisance. But he's saying that with such an endearing look on his face, like he's just so charmed by it. Like, you're such a nuisance. It's warming the cockles of my cold dead heart. Stop. With that, Makino stretched and stood up. I'll take your advice and head back to my room for today. Okay, but don't keep working. Make sure you actually rest. I know. Sorry, but it's for taking care of dinner. I watched him walk away, then went back to cooking. That is such a charming, like, because, okay, there's always going to be that love interest is like, God, you're a nuisance and you're such a pain in my ass. And like, ugh. And then, like, you kind of fall in love with them, but they're the salty, bitter asshole. You know, and I like the salty, bitter asshole. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of like that he's, like, the salty, bitter asshole, but in, like, a kind of soft way. He's like, God, you're kind of a nuisance. And, like, you're trouble. But, like, he's kind of charmed by it. Instead of, like, the way it usually starts is, God, you're so much trouble and you're like a nuisance. Ugh. And even if they like you, they're really mean-spirited about the way they say it. And those are the characters we still love anyway. Looking at you, Sasazuka from Color X Melons, right? You know? He'd absolutely be like, God, you're a nuisance. With attitude. And maybe inside he's like, I love it, though. But, like, you wouldn't know. But, like, the way Makino kind of says it, you're like, oh, he's kind of charmed by us being a nuisance. Yeah. He thinks we're cute. You know what I mean? And I think that's cute. Like, I like it. He's, like, softer about his slightly grumpiness. Afterward, night had completely fallen by the time dinner was ready. Okay, so yeah, and then this is the little dinner scene. So that was the scene, so it does change every time. So it's just a different scene of who kind of pops in while you're cooking. So unfortunately, not as entertaining as Kazuma, like, slowly sneaking in, but, you know, that's a very Kazuma-esque thing to do, and it wouldn't be a Makino-esque thing to do, so I understand why they didn't recycle that little bit, you know, with just the sneaking in. But here we go, doing our film. I mean, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see Nishijima or Seina again after this. Then again, it'd be weird to suddenly ask one of them to go to the festival. What should I do? Hi there. Can you come see me later if you're free? I wonder what Makino wants. For a second, I wasn't sure how to react, but I've been too chicken to reach out to one of the other guys. Okay, I'll be right there. I sent a quick reply and headed over to Makino's room. because we're getting to chapter 4 or episode 4, which is like Harumi's route. So, hello, Makino? It's Ueda. It's open. Come in. So now we won't be skipping. Probably I would assume, obviously not this scene, but maybe a little bit after that. This might go straight into chapter 4. There might be a little bit, but sorry to call you here out of the blue. It's okay. What's up? Well, it's no big deal. Just wanted to give you this. Oh, isn't this the short film script I wrote? It's just a photocopy, but I thought we were supposed to dispose of all of them. Besides, Anai gave me permission to keep a copy. Even if it's just a 15-minute short film that will never see the light of day. It's your first work. Thought you'd want to keep it. That's actually so cute. Oh, thank you so much. But this is your copy, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's got my notes and scribbles all over it, so it's a huge mess. Embarrassing, I know. It's even cuter, though, because then we're gonna marry him, and it's like, then we have, like, our first script together. Stop it! This is adorable! I love this! But then I thought I should hang on to it to commemorate the occasion. And, well, I know you've got a copy saved on your computer, but I was thinking it isn't the same as having the script we used on set in your hands. Wouldn't it be better if you kept it then? No. I'm sure you know this already, but I've never really wanted to be a movie director. This is why I want you to have this. Although it must be kind of a heavy gift, since all my baggage comes with it. Not at all. I prefer this, actually. Just goes to show how hard we worked. And, like, yeah, you might have it on your computer, but your first script that you wrote and you made a short film, it's like, yeah. And then, like, maybe your first actual movie script that's in an actual movie or something you might want to keep. But, like, I don't know. I can see the sentimentality of this, and it's just adorable. Look at his little adorable face. Stop it. This is cute. I love it. When I look back on it, I'll remember what it was like to make that short film. I'm really happy to know that you took my script seriously. It isn't that big of a deal. Just felt like doing it. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I have to pack some stuff yet, so... Oh, wait! I shouted in protest, saying that Harumi was about to shoo me away. The timing worked in my favor, so I have to take some initiative. Want to go celebrate? Celebrate? Yeah. I don't mean to brag, but we did work our butts off. We probably shouldn't get drunk and stir up trouble, but we could at least get something good to eat. That's true. We did work pretty hard. I guess it could be okay for the director and the screenwriter to have a low-key celebration. All right. Where should we go? I think the cafe is still open. Not there. I've got a place in mind. Leave it to me. Taking him to the festival. Put on a yukata, damn it. Look, Makino, there are so many people. This is our festival date. This is how you know whose route you're in. I mean, aside from the fact that we're using a guide and we knew exactly. But if you were playing along blind, this is how you'd know. I dragged him to visit the shrine I'd heard about. I did say I'd let you choose this spot, but why are we at a festival? What a better way to celebrate than at a festival, which is the point of a festival. Be festive and celebrate in the festivities of the festival. Just saying, like, I'm not sure why you don't get this. Mr. Hanai told me about it. He said I should invite anyone who's free. I didn't ask for this. There should be a ton of good food here, though. Let's go out of this camp. Let's go out of this camp with a big bang. Fine. Just stop pulling on my arm. The shrine came into view in the darkness, seeming utterly phantasmal next to the festive atmosphere. I slowly walked toward it, tugging my anxious friend along. Future boyfriend. If we're gonna try anything from the stalls, it's gotta be yakisoba, takoyaki, and shaved ice. Are we going to eat all of that? I'd like to, but festival food is pretty expensive. Ooh, a goldfish scooping game! Well, we have no attention span. Literally me at a festival. You used to live abroad, didn't you? What would you call this in English? Literally just goldfish scooping, I think. Why? You wouldn't call it something cool like goldfish rescue? We're not rescuing anything. We're just scooping them out of the water. Goldfish rescue. Like, no, actually, it's really not rescuing them. Then you're putting them in a Ziploc bag and taking them home to probably die. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm sure if you're scooping the goldfish and you put it in like a little bowl when you get home, but goldfish actually need a lot more space and care than most people realize. So, it like betta fish too, like putting them in those little bowls, not good for them at all. They need a lot more space. So, like, and so I don't really know. We don't have goldfish scooping stalls in America, you know what I mean? But like, so I don't really know what goes on when you scoop the goldfish and then you take a goldfish home and what do you do with it? Because like, it seems slightly cruel. You know what I mean? Like, kind of buying a goldfish at a pet store and stuffing it in a tiny little bowl is kind of cruel. So like, it's just when you know these things, like, I don't like sparrow on a stick. Stop it! No, or don't listen. And like, I don't know. Unless you had a giant like pond out back for them, but is that good? I don't know. I don't know how to take care of goldfish, so I feel like scooping a goldfish out of a stall and taking it home would just be bad because I don't know how to take care of a goldfish. So that would be mean to the goldfish. So you're really definitely not rescuing them, is what I'm getting at. We took a leisurely lap around the stalls. Are you okay, Makino? I bought us some water. Thanks. Fine. He seemed overwhelmed by the crowd, so we withdrew to a side path to rest. Sorry, sometimes I don't feel so hot when I'm in a crowded place for too long. I feel that. No, I should be the one apologizing for dragging you out here. It's been so fun walking around with him. Maybe I got carried away. Don't make that face, please. I may not be good with crowds, but if I'm with you, well, um, it isn't so bad. It was more fun than I expected. I love how awkward he is. I'm glad to hear that. We've been here for a pretty long time, though. Should we head back? I'd appreciate that. But we've seen all the stall. Makino's eyes suddenly went wide in shock. Without another word, he dashed over to a stall at the edge of the festival grounds. Makino, don't run off! You might get kidnapped! Wait up, Makino! He was staring intensely at a stall that sold masks. You kind of knew when he was like, yeah, maybe we should push you, and then he just pushes you out of the way and runs. You were like, it's some kind of anime thing. He's nerding out. I love it. I love him nerding out, because this would be me. It's here! This mask. This is seriously the third tail mask from the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox Chronicles! And you have the fourth tail, too? Wait, the shape is a little different, but the quality is good enough to cosplay with. Nine-Tailed what now? Oh, sorry. It's a show I like. It's a late-night anime. Evidently snapping back to his senses, Makino explained almost apologetically. Look at his sad face, like he feels ashamed, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about anime and being a nerd. Oh my god, sweetie, don't feel sad about that. Oh no, be your nerdy fucking self. Nerd out, I love it. He won't take his eyes off that fox mask. Are you saying that mask looks just like something from the anime? Yes, exactly. What kind of anime is it? You really want to know? I love when he gets his otaku face up. I fucking love it. His eyes glowing. It's so tropey, I love it. Modern day tales of the occult, Nine-Tailed Demon Fox Chronicles. It was a one-season anime produced 2 years ago, a tapestry of masterfully animated scenes that deserves its explosive popularity. The gist of the story is that the mythical nine-tailed fox splits itself into 9 tails, which are reborn as people in the modern era. This sounds fucking awesome, and I want to see this. Each of the 9 protagonists wears a fox mask and can draw out the power of the demon fox. But the third tail and the fourth tail were especially popular characters, and their merch always sells out instantly. Uh-huh. And that's why you're so excited about this mask. Anyway, I'll take one, mister. With fire in his eyes, Makino bought a mask. This is for you, Miss Ueda. Huh? For me? He pushed the mask into my hands and nodded firmly. Oh my god, I love this CG now. We're gonna get it, we're gonna see a fox mask. Good. It's just how I pictured. Look at how fucking happy he looks. Look at his little nerd boy face. It's so adorable. Stop it. The fourth tail's mask would look great on you. You really resemble her. Oh my god, look at our little fox mask. It's so fucking cute. I love it. Oh, so this fourth tail character is a woman? That's right. There's actually a whole backstory behind her mask. Wow, he's really enjoying this. I love how she's like, this is a little awkward and I don't know what's happening, but okay. Makino sure does love anime. Oh, but then we're charmed by it. We're like, this is awkward, but like, he's cute when he's totally into this shit. Look, okay. You don't have to like what someone likes. When you don't really hate what someone likes, if you're just like, oh, I don't get it, or you're into what they like when they geek out about it. Oh my god, and then there's this and this, you're like, I don't get it, but seeing you just so animated and excited about it is charming. And like, you have to enjoy yourself just seeing someone like nerd out about something they really love. You know what I mean? And like, unless it's sports, then it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because there's a difference about like kind of nerding out, like, oh my god. And then this happened when I was a kid and I went to this baseball game with my dad and it was a lot of fun. And you're like, okay. And then there's like, no, but like, because like some people get too bro duty about sports and they get like angry and aggressive. And that's not cute. When you're like, oh my god, and then we went and it was so much fun. And they get all like kind of like that childlike glee about something nerdy that they like, regardless of what it is. That's always adorable and we love to see that, okay? Always nerd out about your fucking shit. Doesn't matter what it is. Trains, planes, automobiles, whatever. Just nerd the fuck out. Okay? Oh no! My apologies. I started rambling again. No, it's okay. I just thought it was kind of funny. You know, whenever you start talking about anime, you drop all the usual formalities and just gush about what you like. Ugh. I'm just very passionate about it. You don't have to be so polite when you talk to me, you know. You're older than me anyway. Besides, I feel like we're a little closer now. Okay. Sorry. I know it's a habit of mine, but I'll do my best to loosen up a little. I don't mind if you speak to me casually either, like you would a friend. I might be a year older, but we're in the same year at school, and we're both assistants on set. Oh, certainly. Oops. I mean, yeah, okay. Thanks. And this is where we fell in love. I nodded with a laugh, and Makino continued in a quiet voice. You don't think I'm weird, then? Why would I? I know I act totally different when it comes to anime. Honestly, most people would cringe if they were standing in your shoes. Oh god, no. I think this is the most charming, adorable shit ever. I wish you were more my type, because, like, this, like, nerding out about something that you enjoy, that's my type. I like this. In reality, I would love somebody that's just nerdy about something. Doesn't matter what it is. Well, maybe not sports. Because I'm not into sports. You know what I mean? But like, any kind of like, or, okay. Because like, if you're into sports, that's cool. But if you're into anime, that's nerdy. But like, when you, like, are that into sports, it's just as fucking nerdy. I'm just saying. Everything that you nerd out about is nerdy! That's why it's called nerding out, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be sports, it could be anime, it could be trains. Again, it doesn't matter. But like, you know. When you get, again, the childlike glee, but sports, it's usually just aggressive. There's a line. There is a line, okay? I guess all fandoms and interests have that line where people just get really aggressive and you're like, alright, I'm gonna need you to simmer down. Anyway. But it's just so sad that that's why Makino and all the girls are like, oh my god, he's so pretty, and he's like... He's kind of more annoyed by it because he's like such a fucking anime nerd that if he said that, they'd be like, oh god, anime is cringy. Which is a load of bullshit. Everybody fucking likes anime. Yeah, maybe not everybody, but you know what I mean. Anime is pretty fucking popular. It's not nerdy to like anime. I think it's completely natural to be enthusiastic about something you're into. Thinking back to the camp, there were a few times when he let his geeky excitement slip out. I don't know all that much about anime, to be honest. Still, it's fun to watch you be passionate about your hobby. Sorry, bird. I may not know the anime, but I can tell it's an interesting one. I know, it sounds fucking awesome, and I want to see this. Oh. Yeah, so tell me more. Why are all those third tail and fourth tail characters so popular? Hmm? Oh my god, they're lovers, aren't they? Oh my god, they're gonna be in it so cute. Oh, you don't need to know that, do you? He's acting differently than he was a moment ago. Seeing him act so oddly, my reaction was, this could take a while. Press the issue. Yeah, he's gonna need to fess up. Explain, please. I fixed him with a firm gaze as I pressed the issue. Slowly and hesitantly, Makino muttered his explanation. The third and fourth tales are... What? They're lovers, and they're a popular ship. Oh, I see. Wait a sec! So my mask's character and your mask's character are in a relationship, and we're gonna fall in love, and he gave us the script that we worked on together for our first little short. Oh my god, this is adorable. Stop it. Like, okay. So far you have Kazuma, the childhood friend, who's always kind of like, maybe into you a little, or whatever. And like, that was just a charming, adorable route, because you're like, normally I don't like the childhood friends. And sure, they did the thing at the end where he's like, I've always just been jealous of you and trying to keep you down. And it's like, I don't know, that feels like bullshit. And it feels like you threw it in to create drama, but I'm not buying it. I feel like you're trying to stir shit up right now, and it doesn't feel like Kazuma at all. So, nah, I'm not falling for that, okay? I feel like that was just weird. It's not like, yeah, no, that fits your character. It's like, that doesn't fit your character at all. That just seemed like something the writer shoehorned in to try to add some drama that it didn't really fit, but whatevs. Anyway, the route itself and the childhood friend angle, I loved it this time. You know what I mean? And childhood friend is not my thing, but it was adorable and charming, and I was into it. And this is a totally other thing, and it's charming and adorable, and I love it. I'm having a great time. You know, I kind of like, every once in a while, you just need a fluffy, sort of pointless game. I think from what I've seen, a lot of people are like, oh, this one's not that great. Because I guess you just want more drama or action or a huge plot. But like, this one's just kind of light and fluffy. The plot is just not really, I mean, we're working on a movie and we fall in love. Oh yeah, and I'm looking for my dad, but like, whatevs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's not really much of a plot going on here except for romance pretty boys. And I'm fine with that because the characters and the stories we're putting in together with them so far, I mean, yeah, we've done 2 out of 5, but okay, we've done 1 and a fraction. But the fraction of this one is just going along really well, and I'm kind of into it. Like, I'm not going to lie. I don't know, I'm charmed by this so far, so. We're having a great time. 10 out of 10, recommend. If you just want something light and fluffy. If you want something with like a deep, intense plot, yeah, this isn't going to do it for you, obviously, but anyway. I didn't give you the mask with that in mind. Anyway, let's get going. I think the fireworks are about to start. Weren't we going back? Hey! Makino ran off once more, so I leapt up and chased after him. But you've got to giggle about that a little, like, he's like, I wasn't thinking about that shit. It was just, you know, because he was so wrapped up in like, oh my god, I'm having so much fun in the mask and the characters, and I'm talking about it, and you're not making fun of me, and oh fuck, I wasn't really thinking about the fact that they're in a relationship. It's just, you kind of reminded me of that. Yeah, oh crap. Adorable. I love it. Good job, game. We're having a great time. Okay. Before leaving the campground, I visited the person who'd helped me the most. Thank you for all your hard work over these past 2 weeks. Oh, hi, Miss Ueda. You say that, but it still doesn't feel like it's over. After a few days off, we'll be working together again. That's true. Still, today marks the end of this chapter of our lives. And will mark the start of the next chapter where we fall in love for real. You're so sincere. Can't say I mind it. He really does act more comfortable around me now than when we first met. Makino smiled, a rare sight to behold, and dipped his head in thanks. Allow me to thank you for your valuable help as well. Oh, please. I was just doing my job to help the screenwriter. Sure, but I'm talking about your work on the short film. Ah, yeah. We really cut it close. We did. You know, after I stayed up all night and ran into the lesson room, I was pretty shocked. I think you'd face off against the director himself. Hey, don't remind me! I was desperate! I won't forget what you did. I need that kind of courage you showed back then. Huh? Makino didn't elaborate. Instead, he faced me squarely and offered a deep, gracious bow. It's an honor to be working with you, Miss Spacey Ueda. Give him the bird kisses. He's adorable. Yay! Now we're straight up in Makino's route. I love the little title card. It's cute. They did a good job with the title cards. When I got back to my room, I was struck by how quiet it was. Back at audition camp, I could always hear people's voices. Between that and the summer festival, things were always abuzz with life. It always felt like as soon as you got used to that kind of atmosphere, it came to an end. It left me feeling a little lonely. The summer festival was really fun, but audition camp was tough. I wonder how Makino's doing. I noticed at camp that he and I had a lot in common. For example, it took us a while before we got comfortable with new people, and neither of us liked group activities. Oh, my phone rang suddenly startling me, and I quickly checked the screen. It read Harumi Makino. This was the first time he'd ever called me. I like how his little title background is also blue with his little leaf on it. Hello, Makino? What's up? Oh, I'm sorry for calling so late. I hope you're not too busy. No worries, but is everything okay? Oh, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. Is that okay? Sure. But even after I answered him, Makino stayed quiet. I could hear his labored breathing through the phone as if he were struggling to speak. Makino? Actually, I can't say this over the phone. Could we meet tomorrow to talk? Okay, sure. Thank you. Afterward, we made quick plans to meet up, and Makino hung up right away. What was that all about? Maybe something happened. He sounded so anxious. It made me worried. Well, it's his lover pretend, so are we going to have to pretend to be his girlfriend? I would assume, because otherwise there's not going to be any more pretend times, and there has to be pretend times. But, like, Kazuma told everyone we were dating because we messed up with the script kind of thing, and then it just snowballed out of control from there. But I would think with Makino, the course of action that would seem logical, like the flow of this. You know, like Kazuma's were like, oh, I was delivering the script, and then I wandered onto set, and then they were like, why are you here? And he's like, oh, this is my girlfriend. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I would feel like with Makino, it would be like, we're out with him, and then the girls see him, he's like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. Please, God, just go along with it, because I need these girls to leave me alone. And we'd be like, yeah, sure! And then that somehow would snowball, you know what I mean? Because the girls chase him down, but even if they were absolutely beautiful and he was totally into them, he wouldn't ever ask one out, because he's an anime nerd, and he thinks they're going to make fun of him, and they're probably bitches, and they would. I mean, come on, give me a break. I'm sure half of the girls would probably be totally into it too, but for the sake of the story, you know, they wouldn't be. For some reason, the only girls that would like him would be, like, not into it or think anime is lame. Which is just really weird, because I feel like anime is pretty popular enough that, like, most people would be like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe they're not as into it as you are, but they wouldn't be like, ew! They'd be like, oh, alright, yeah, I'm not really into it, but cool. Have fun with your hobby. You know what I mean? Not judgy? Anyway. Maybe something happened. He sounded so anxious, it made me worried. The next day, I headed to the cafe Makino specified over Ring after a phone call. It was easy to spot him, sitting alone in the corner. It looked like he'd arrived early. His water cup was already empty. So, you wanted to talk about something? Makino kept fidgeting and looking anxious, so I decided to start the conversation. Oh, yes. Well, he's so clearly nervous. It makes me nervous, too. But what came out of Makino's mouth was the last thing I expected. You see, I'd like for you to accompany me in my fan activities. What? Fan activities? Oh, never mind. I don't want to bother you, so please disregard my request. Forget I said anything. No, I'm not bothered. I just thought it was something more serious, so I'm a little relieved. Though I'm not really sure what you mean by fan activities. I don't really know much about anime. Wouldn't it be more fun if you talked about it with people who have the same hobby as you? No, there are many types of fans. Even if we like the same shows, we won't necessarily get along if we have conflicting interpretations. Yeah, good lord. If you don't like the same ships other people do, it's like, all-out war! Listen! Not that serious. Besides, I don't really have any friends in the first place, so I keep that part of me a secret. Oh, right. That makes sense. I feel like I keep that part of me a secret. Oh, that makes sense. That's what we're saying, but it's like, I don't have any friends. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. You must have been trying hard to keep it hidden during camp. Oh, you look so sad. We're laughing at him not having friends. And currently, the only one that knows about my hobby is you. I've tried to go on fan pilgrimages several times, but I never had the courage to go alone. Aw, I get that, where you're like, I really want to go someplace, but I want to go alone, and I don't have anybody that shares the same hobbies, so no one will go with me. You gotta have friends who are like, I don't get it, but whatever, I'll come with you, you know? I'm going to a Comic-Con in June. I don't know when this is going up. Oh, this is going up in April. But in June, because my niece wants to go to the one by her. And I was like, fuck, I'll go! I don't know how I'm getting there, because I'm not allowed to drive, but, like, it'll be fun! Like, shit, yeah. Not, like, a big one, like, you know what I mean? Because it's, like, one of, like, the local area. You know what I mean? It's not, like, the huge ones, like, in LA or New York, but still. I went to one by me, like, years ago, and it was so much fun. But this will be more fun, because now I actually watch anime. I didn't at the time. You know what I mean? I was just like, a bunch of people were going, and I'm like, sure, I'll go with the friends I'm going with. Again, you go, because you're like, you know, there's going to be some cool stuff. Even if there's a lot of stuff you don't know, because you're like, I don't watch any of these shows. I've never really, wasn't really into anime at the time. And since have gotten into anime, so it'll be a little bit more fun. Even if I don't watch all the super popular ones, you know? But anyway. And, you know, there's always a mix of stuff at Comic-Cons anyway. Because it's not just anime. But you know what I mean. Anyway. Still, I absolutely must go. If I don't, I'll definitely regret it. Makino spoke with unexpected determination, but I had no idea what he was talking about. Fan pilgrimage? Oh, it's when you go visit the real-life locations used in anime and film. That would also be fucking awesome. See. That made sense. It was their own kind of pilgrimage. I feel like that you could do, because you're like, I'm just going to go to this location, take a picture of the bridge that was in the anime, and then, you know what I mean? I've seen people have done that before, where they're like, here are these real-life locations from this anime or this show, and you're like, it's always so fucking awesome, because, like, they look legit. Like, when you look at the real picture and the anime one, you're like, nope, yep, uh-huh. You know, like, sometimes you're like, oh, I wouldn't have recognized that because of, like, the way you're like, nope, it looks exactly like it's just really cool. Fan pilgrimage. When anime, TV, or manga fans travel to locations that appear in the title they're a fan of. Sometimes the area takes advantage of this and draws up plans for local economic revitalization. I think I saw something on TV about towns trying to revitalize by bringing in fan tourism to anime-related locations. I can't read, I'm sorry. Naturally, pilgrimage sites for Japanese anime would be in Japan. Makino spent a lot of time overseas. He's probably not comfortable traveling to faraway places alone. Kazuma's my only friend, so I kind of understand Makino's feelings. Going on a trip alone would make me nervous, too. Honestly, agree. Unless it's like, I'm going someplace down the street or going to a town over or something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what? No, I kind of agree with that, too. I've only gone on a trip once by myself. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to Chicago. Hopped on a plane, went to Chicago by myself. I have no idea who the fuck that person was who did that, because it's not very me. What? There's nothing up there. Would you stop it? Stop it. There's nothing. Don't do that. It made me happy that Makino felt like he could rely on me. Shh. Simmer down, bird. I don't really know anything about anime, but I'm sure it'll be good for my screenwriting. Helping out someone who put their trust in me and making friends with someone who knew a lot about a genre I was unfamiliar with. Both would be valuable experiences for me. I'd be happy to go with you if you're sure. Makino, who'd been watching me nervously, widened his eyes. Thank you! He looked delighted, like he was 80% sure I would turn him down. So, which anime are we doing a pilgrimage for? There are many places I want to go. However, as difficult as it was, I drew up a list of priorities. First, I think I'd like to go on a pilgrimage for Atomic Saga, better known as At Saga. Atomic Saga. I think I've heard that name before. Since even I'd heard of it, I knew it must be a popular series, but I didn't know what it was about. Is that a romance anime? Is that a romance anime? Atomic Saga. I don't think so. It's a robot anime. The one with robots? I tried my best to remember the commercial I saw once. The moment I said that, Makino brightened up considerably. Oh, look! Oh dear God! You know what, Makino, you cannot make that face at us, because now it looks wildly inappropriate. That poor boy needs a minute to compose himself, Jesus. Yes! You understand! Could it be that you're a fan of it too? Oh, sorry, I've only seen the commercial for it, that's all. Oh, is that so? I apologize. I jumped to conclusions. To explain it briefly, in Atomic Saga, a normal boy ends up piloting a battle robot called Atomic Dragoon in order to fight the mysterious Imperial Masters. It's a story about fighting to protect the ones you love, with well-developed characters, beautiful visuals, and a rich soundtrack. The anime was a hit before it even aired, but it's not just that it's popular. The story is beautifully sad, yet filled with hope. Makino's sermon was getting practically feverish, gathering eyes from around the cafe. Makino, you're being a little loud. Oh, I apologize. I got a little too excited. It's okay. You must really like it to be able to talk about it with such passion. I was just so happy that someone was finally listening to me talk about At Saga. I couldn't help but get excited. At Saga. A short for Atomic Saga, an anime where an ordinary boy pilots the battle robot Atomic Dragoon to fight the Imperial organization, to fight the enemy organization called the Imperial Masters. I don't know why we needed the glossary, because he just basically told us that exact thing. From the way Makino flushed and looked down, I could tell how much the series meant to him. Well, if we're gonna go on a fan pilgrimage, I better watch it too. I got the gist of it, but if I tag along on the pilgrimage without knowing more about it, it won't be as fun for Makino. No worries there. I brought the DVD box set. I love this nerd. He was like, just in case she says yes, I'm going to make her watch it. Oh, so that's why you have such a large bag. Yes, and these are supplementary materials. I narrowed it down to the most important ones. I thought they'd help you understand. Oh my God, he's giving us homework. I'm not sure if I love it or hate it. I absolutely love it. It's so sweet. How much did you bring? It was all sectioned out with detailed labels. This is fucking adorable. This is so fucking nerdy. Also, here's the material on the locations. I wrote these up myself. He deposited a stack of printed papers on the table. They seemed to cover all the pilgrimage locations across the country. I didn't have to count to know there were a ton of them. Makino, are we going to all of them? Yes, or, well, it's more that I'd like to eventually go to all of them. First, I'd like to go to the nearby locations, which I've circled. Okay, in that case, there were red circles on the map in front of me. They all look like places that could be visited with a day trip. I plan to give you all of this if you accepted my request. That's why I asked you to come today. I'm glad. I was a little worried. Huh? Worried? Well, you sounded really tense over the phone. From your tone, I thought you had something really serious to talk about. Oh my God, girl, did you just say this isn't serious? Huh? Oh, I was just so nervous that you turned me down. It was misleading. I'm glad I could help. That's so funny. It was misleading. I see. Well, I'm glad I could help. I'd imagined one bad scenario after another, so it was a relief that my worries were unfounded. Makino? Isueda, I'm feeling very moved right now. I love when he gets his, like, otaku eyes. It's so fucking ridiculous. It is absurd. But, like, Kazuma had that, like, super beaming smile that you're like, this is just awkward. Put that away. This is even more awkward. Makino's clenched fists shook. You're overreacting. I was glad to see him so happy, though. To tell you the truth, I was really worried about calling you. I kept trying to press the call button, but I just couldn't go through with it. I did that over and over again for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes? From his words, I could tell that Makino had been seriously worried about it. That's why I called you at such a late hour. Sorry about that, but I'm glad I called you. I took a moment to admire Makino's gentle smile. He was really aloof when we first met. This is a totally different side of him. It was like a new discovery. As a thank you for coming all the way here, I'll treat you to something. Please order anything you're interested in. Oh, no, it's fine. You don't have to do that. Wait, no, you're a director, son. You got money. Over here, I want the lobster. Just kidding. Do you even like lobster? Not really. It's just the most expensive thing on the menu. I insist. You're doing me a favor, so I have to thank you somehow. In fact, if I can't show my gratitude, I won't feel comfortable. So would you please order something? The waiter happened to pass by just then and asked for our orders. Now that I thought about it, I hadn't ordered anything since I'd come to the cafe. I hastily opened the menu and chose a caramel latte. Makino ordered something for himself as well. The waiter took our orders, and it wasn't long before they returned. The caramel latte in front of me was perched on top of a coaster with the cafe's logo printed on it. The sweet smell tickled my nose. By contrast, Makino's order was a brightly colored soda. Aww! It's like neon blue! The syrup created a gradient, a sky blue color that melted into rose pink. I do not see the rose pink in there, but that's okay. The top was decorated with an assortment of fruits, complete with a sprig of mint. The poster is flipped the other way. Unlike my caramel latte, I couldn't see the cafe's logo. In fact, it was a different color and texture, too. It's one of those special drinks, like when you go to, like, otome cafes and stuff like that in Japan, where you, like, buy a drink and then it comes with, like, the coaster or the something for that character. You know what I mean? Maybe they changed coasters depending on the drink. This was a stylish cafe, so that could be. As I spaced out thinking about the coasters, Makino slowly turned his over with a nervous expression. Yes! It's Sud! Sud? Sood? Sood? Sud? Like suds? Or Sood? It was another word I didn't know. You can see the character on it. I feel like... Should we know this character? I can't tell. Did they specifically draw a character on the coaster that's not from an actual, like... anything? And I forgot when we first started this part in the back of the train station where we started skipping. No, it wasn't this one. It was in the last part where after my thing had stopped, like broke, and then we came back and it was the train station. In the background was also Pio Fiore posters in the background of the train station. I know they're in the or the movie studio when we went. There was like, but they were like in the back of the train station, and I hadn't noticed them the first time playing. Any of the times we were at the train station in Kazuma's route, and I was just like, oh look, Pio Fiore posters. Which was funny because that was the game that we were playing in 10. Actually, I think it's still going up at this point, but I finished recording it. But anyway. This cafe is actually collaborating with Tearblade right now. Tearblade? I wonder if that's the name of another anime. If you order a specific drink here, you get a coaster with a random character design. Oh, this is a random one. Okay. Is that why you chose this cafe? Well, that's part of it, yes. But the review said it was popular with girls too, so... You should have told me. I would have ordered a drink that came with a coaster too. No, this is my thanks to you. I wanted you to get something you liked. Really? Oh, are there pilgrimage sites for Tearblade on this map too? No. Unfortunately, the Neosphere doesn't exist in real life. Oh, that's too bad. Well, what is the Neosphere? It's the name of the fictional place Tearblade's set in. Oh, I see. So you couldn't go there even if you wanted to. Yes, I wish I could. Makino spoke with a lot of feeling. I feel him so hard. He's like, I wish I could go there. I wish I could live in my Otome games. Maybe not all of them. Some of them are kind of dramatic. I wish I could live in my actual man harem in my brain. If I ever end up in a coma, I hope my coma brain puts me in the man harem, so I don't know what's happening. Listen, if I'm gonna go out, I want to drift off happily in my man harem, is all I'm saying. Thanks for the drink, Makino. I stood up and tried to take the bag full of anime materials, but Makino picked it up first and walked me to the exit. How sweet. Is he going to walk us home while he carries the bag for us? As we got to the cafe's glass door, he held it open for me. Oh. Oh, look, we get another little CG of him holding our door. After you. That's so sweet and gentlemanly. Oh, thanks. I wouldn't have expected Makino to do this kind of thing. What is it? Makino's voice snapped me out of my thoughts. Oh, sorry, it's just that I'm not used to people doing things like this. Oh, would you prefer that I don't? I'm sorry, I suppose it isn't common over here. Is this that British custom? Ladies first? It's actually funny because, like, you think about that, like, then hold the door for women, open the car door. That was, like, a gentlemanly thing to do. Like, you don't have to do it. It doesn't make you not a gentleman to not do it. You know what I mean? But it's a gentlemanly thing to do from, like, the past. But it's really funny that, like, in this context, you're like, so what do they do in Japan? The man just, like, walks out the door and lets the door slap the woman in the face? Like, it's just weird, because, like, and you do that anyway. Like, you go up to a door and you might open the door and let your mom go through it. Like, it's just it's like a slightly weird polite thing, but it's just funny to think that, like, that doesn't exist in Japan. That's like, that's a weird thing? That's kind of interesting. Intrigued. Yes, I used to go to an all-boys school, but our female teachers were strict about being gentlemen to ladies. So it became a habit. Oh no! I'll must always be thinking I'm trying to show off or something. That's not it. I wouldn't do such a presumptuous thing. I'm really just a generic male university student A like anyone else. Calm down. I'm sure people don't think of you like that. You're fine. I did think he seemed pretty cool, but Makino is still Makino. Kind of relieved. You're like, I'm kind of relieved he's nerding out about this. So, we can choose what day to go later. I'll read through everything you wrote out. I left the cafe and tried to take the bag from Makino, but he held on to it and started walking along with me. Are you walking me home now? I might be roping you into my hobby, but I can't let you carry around something so large. I'll walk you a little closer. Is this the right way? Oh, yes, thank you. Come to think of it, he carried something heavy for me before, too. Back then he barely said anything, so I misunderstood him. Here, it's better if I walk on that side. Since I'd been reminiscing about our first shopping errand, I was probably wandering a little while I walked. Makino moved around to my other side, so he was between me and the road, protecting me from cars. That's adorable. Am I walking too fast? No, I'm good. Makino was so considerate. It made me feel almost giddy. Oh, a bicycle's coming. Hey, Makino, I bet you're popular, huh? Am I wrong? Listen, Miss Ueda, someone can only be popular if they have substance. I'm not... I meant it as an honest compliment, but Makino suddenly looked downcast. He does look sad. Their sad faces are so beautiful. I can't help it. The game does it on purpose. Hey, isn't that guy hot? Right? I think so too. After passing by those girls and hearing what they said, Makino clutched his head. This face is the... No, please stop making that one. That's scary. Ugh. If only there were a pebble belt for times like this. Pebble belt? I had no idea what that was. I'd never heard of that term before, but it sounded strange, so maybe it was something from an anime. It's a belt that transforms you into a pebble on the roadside. I stand out because of my looks, but I wish that weren't the case. I guess you do stand out in a crowd. But people are only saying good things. Does that bother him too? And everyone's laughing at me. Does he not hear them at all? I don't think so. Makino looked a little pale. It seemed his dislike of crowds was serious. So serious he lost his eyeballs. Oh, why don't we go this way instead? I took Makino's hand and pulled him to a side road. It'd be easier to walk with fewer people around. Sorry. Don't worry about it. You know, I wouldn't have minded meeting somewhere with fewer people. And no, of course not. I couldn't ask a girl to come to some isolated place. Miss Ueda, I'm sure you'd be nervous to go meet with a man you don't know well, right? I think I can say that I know you well enough by now. Or is there something I don't know about him? Oh, right. It's just, we've only met for work purposes, so I thought you would be apprehensive to meet me somewhere in private. He can be a little self-abasing, but he was being considerate of me. Look, you're a good friend. Definitely popular. A good friend. A good friend. Makino's eyes widened. Good friend. Yes, it is for the best that you think of me as just that. I was pretty sure he didn't get what I meant. Right. Makino really doesn't like flattery. I should remember that. He doesn't get flattery. Like, he kind of thinks that, like, everyone's making fun of him or being whatever. You know what I mean? We finally arrived at my place, so I said my thanks to Makino for carrying the bag. Well then, I'll contact you later about our plans. See ya. Makino turned and went back the way we'd come from. I stood there for a while, watching him. It's heavy. I put the DVD and materials in the corner of my room and sat down for a moment. Makino must really like this series. When Makino talked about the things he liked, his face totally lit up. He seemed to be having so much fun. It would really suck if you watched an anime someone recommended or they were totally into and you're like, oh, I hate this one so much. I wonder if we'd have fun talking about it together if I was familiar with that stuff. Summer break was coming to an end, and the directors were deciding who'd make the cast based on the auditions. There'd be a final call after the break, and Professor Asagi was buckling down on his writing. I'm sure I can make some time to watch these DVDs. Probably. As I thought about it, I took the DVDs out of the bag and turned them over in my hands. Oh yeah, and there's the one he told me about at the cafe. Tear or something? I should look that up too. What about the other one with the fox masks? The nine-tailed demon fox thing. I want to watch that one. With that, summer break ended. As I attended my lectures for second semester and assisted Professor Asagi while he focused on writing, I started studying anime. I should have read that with like a normal breath instead of in the middle. As for how that turned out, to ensure that I could join Makino in his fan pilgrimage when the time came, I found as many spare moments as I could. What? No! They die? Thank God they're alive. Ugh, this is making me cry. Me at the end of Yuri on Ice. I seriously was like in such a state of depression for like 3 fucking days after that ended. The first time I watched it. Because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful and it makes you all the feels that when you're watching it, you're like, I love this so much. And when it ends, you're like, I feel like I just got broken up with. Like something is missing. So I don't think I've ever finished it more than once. Like I start watching it and I watch certain things and I just like don't let myself get to the end. I think I fully watched it twice, but like I've watched like it's starting again and then like you watch a couple more episodes and then you stop just so that the trauma of it ending doesn't catch up with you. But I can still feel that thinking about it. God damn it. It's the most perfect love story ever. I never really watched anime before, but as I witnessed bonds weaved between the charming characters, I couldn't help but cry. Maybe this is what I've been missing in my scripts. When I wrote my scripts, this is what I was lacking. Soul-stirring friendship, passion, and love. So this is what a truly moving story is like. I'd only watched anime when I was a child, but even though I was an adult now, it really resonated with me. It was a new discovery. In episode 3, when Kai saves Gerda, it was amazing! I almost cried. I totally get it! Look at his little penguin that he sends. You get it. I think so too. The animation in that scene is so amazing too. It was a god-tier episode. And wasn't the music so exhilarating too? I messaged him on Ring about my thoughts on the series and immediately got passionate replies in return. At first I sent those messages to make Makino happy, since he mentioned not having any friends who liked anime. But the DVD he let me borrow was more interesting than I expected, and watching it taught me a lot about screenwriting. Before I knew it, I started sending him my thoughts on Ring all the time. I got more interested in Tearblade, and since the whole series was available for streaming online, I watched it all in one go. Right? Best thing about streaming. The more I watched, the more I became attached to the characters. Now I could kind of understand why Makino had been so happy when he got the coaster he wanted. I wonder if they're still running that promotion. I reached over to grab my phone and checked the cafe's website. They're still doing it. I want to go. Oh. Yeah. Oh, we're going to go on our pilgrimage, but not today. We're going on our pilgrimage next time. So, because we're going to stop here. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big... Hi, yeah, chirping. Shh. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up. And subscribe to see more.